Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be doing the concept photos for Dreamcatcher's new album Dystopia Tree of Language, and yes, literally every time I say it I almost say Tree of Life instead. But so this one was a little bit more difficult than the Pentagon concept photos spread that I did because there's 4 of them. For Pentagon there were only 2, so it was only 2 spreads, but this one took a lot of time. It took a lot of time, and it gets hard towards the end because it's like you feel like you put all of your creativity and effort into like the first one or the first couple, and then by the end you're like, you almost feel like you're throwing stuff together. But I still think that they all turned out okay. I will let you guys be the deciders of that. But the first concept photo or concept for this album is very like woodsy and outdoorsy, and I wanted to incorporate that into the spread. And like I mentioned in my Pentagon video, I am not leaving a lot of room for writing, and that's because I really wanted these spreads to be focused on the photos themselves, because that's the whole point of having a spread for concept photos. So I planned all of these out in advance. I printed them off, and then I kind of decided from there what kind of colors that I wanted to use and stuff like that. So I picked out this sort of like burgundy or like red mud color because it seemed to be a theme in all of their outfits. And then I happened to have this paper that was like trees in the background, and I just thought that that was perfect since it's a very outdoorsy spread, and I just sort of went with that theme for this whole spread. Also, you may have noticed that I am using a glue stick, and if you've been around for a while, you know that that means that I actually ran out of my spray adhesive, and then I'm too lazy to go get some more. So bear with me, the next couple videos I'm using a glue stick, but I will eventually get more spray adhesive. So here I wrote version 1, and I realized after that that their versions are not actually numbered that way. They're actually L, I, V, and E. So I don't actually fix that until later on, but when you see the overview of the entire spread, you will notice that I fixed it, and I realized it before I moved on to the other spreads. So the rest of them are correct, although I may have done them backwards. So this is actually version E, and then I did V, I, and L, which spells evil. I'm not sure if they're supposed to spell evil, if they're supposed to spell live. I think either way could work for their concepts, honestly, but in this way, it's spelled evil. Sorry. So then I felt like there were spots that just had too much white space in them. So I just added these little like triangular tree looking shapes. And then I just added some regular triangles just because I thought that it went with the tree paper that I had used in the background. So here is a look at the final spread for version E. I really liked this one a lot. I mean, I had really cool photos to work with, which always helps, but I like the colors for this one and I like the paper that I had on hand. So yeah, moving on to version V. This one was a little more simple, I guess, because the colors in the pictures are a little bit more simple. So I really just wanted to do like a black and white kind of spread because I felt like that would look the most uniform with the concept photos for this version. So I've mentioned before that when I'm planning a spread, sometimes I literally just print off pictures in random sizes and then kind of figure out what I'm going to do. And other times I literally sketch out into my journal where I want everything to go. And then I print the photos to be that exact size. And in this case, that was something that I definitely needed to do because I wanted to use all the pictures. I mean, not all the pictures, but one picture of each member in the group photo. And I wanted to be sure that I could fit them all into a spread in a way that looked nice. So I definitely had to plan all of these spreads out in advance. I sat down and I sketched out where I wanted things to go, and then I printed off the pictures and went from there. I didn't always necessarily plan out where I wanted like scrapbook paper or just little other details to go, but I definitely had to plan out the pictures or this would have been a whole entire mess. Here I sort of misjudged how much space I had to write language, so I used this little whiteout tape thing that I have and I just wrote the word down at the bottom. And even though I was really winging it with this lettering on the side here, I actually really like how it turned out. And then I just added some washi tape. I actually bought this washi tape. You've probably seen it several times in my spreads now. I bought it during Halloween, like in like a Halloween pack of washi tape. But it's not only the only black washi tape that I have, but I just am really obsessed with it. It's like shiny silver and it's just really, really pretty. And that's why I use it all the time. I'm sorry. And here's a look at version V. I like how this spread turned out a lot. It was very simple, and in a lot of ways I was kind of winging it, but I like how it turned out. I think it turned out very minimalist and pretty. And moving on to version I, these pictures were very dark and very interesting because it's like an outside setting, but you can tell that it's inside. It's like they didn't really try to make it look like an actual outside set, if that makes sense, because you can see like the shadows on the backdrop and stuff like that, which I feel like is a very interesting stylistic choice. But I wanted to do something a little bit different than the other two spreads, so I wanted to do a lot of circles and add circular pictures as well as just circles as decoration in the background. So I used that circle cutter that I have, which I am getting really good at. If you guys remember when I first got this circle cutter, I really struggled with it, but I'm getting a lot better now that I use it more frequently. So I felt like I wrote version I too far up on this circle and I needed to add something to the bottom. And I just had this idea to try to draw some little like scraggly trees like they have in the background. And at first I was like, oh God, this is going to mess it up. I'm going to ruin it. But I actually like how it turned out in the end. I think it's kind of a cool addition. I probably would have chosen not to do it if I hadn't written the words up so high, but that's okay. I think it turned out all right. And then just to fill some space, I added some black polka dots in the background. I haven't done polka dots randomly in a while, I feel like. Maybe. Anyways, it worked with the theme because they were circles. And this is a final look at version I. I also really like how this one turned out. I liked how I incorporated the circles and the round pictures and stuff into it. And I feel like the colors went really well together. So moving on to the last version, which is version L, and I am obsessed with these pictures. I've talked about before that I feel like I have two really extreme contrasting personalities. Like I really love dark stuff and dark concepts, but I also am obsessed with like really pretty things and pink and sparkles and all that kind of stuff. And these just really appealed to my obsession with like pink, sparkly, pretty things. I love these a lot, and I was really excited to do a spread for these. At first, I thought that I wanted to do like a pink piece of paper on the side, like my normal ripped look, but I didn't have a pink sheet of paper that matched perfectly. So I colored this big block of pink with one of my markers, only to realize that I did not actually like it in the background. So I didn't use it, and I wasted a whole lot of ink and a considerable amount of time coloring it. But you live and you learn, right? So this spread didn't really turn out exactly how I pictured it. I feel like it turned out a lot more plain. But by the end of these spreads, I was just feeling really uninspired. I think that I should have split them up better. But that's okay. I still think that it turned out really cute. And the pictures, I mean, they speak for themselves. So I think they look really nice. So if you liked this video and you enjoyed the spreads, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.